My name's Etai. I work for Similar Group. You have two options when doing a competitive analysis. The first one, in both cases, is you need to hire good people. Second thing you need to do is you need to A/B test, learn from your mistakes, and then finally implement those on the sites. The second thing you can do is hire good people, learn from your competitors' mistakes, and only then go ahead and A/B test once you have a much more intelligent idea, very similar to what Sean mentioned earlier. So I don't know who told you size doesn't matter. Size does matter. There were recently elections in Germany, and you think about how do they forecast who's going to win. I believe Angela Merkel won the elections. Now, the way they do that is they call a panel, which is statistically significant, and based upon that, they're able to assess who is going to win the elections. Now, the bigger the panel, the more accurate that data is going to be. The second part, which is very, very important, is creating a diversified panel. This means it needs to really reflect the population. Do we have a lot of Germans here? Okay, cool. So you'll understand this. So there's a big difference between Bavarians and non-Bavarians, from what I understand in this country. I hope I'm not offending anyone. And there's even a difference between Düsseldorf and Cologne or Köln, even though they're only about 40 kilometers away from each other. One says Kelch isn't beer, the other says Alt is, I can't even mention it on stage, but it's complex. Now, if we were trying to reflect the behaviors of Germans, we need to reflect both the Düsseldorfians and the Colonians. I hope that's even a word. And that's why it's important to do. Let's start discussing a couple of the challenges that e-commerce players have today. The first one, especially pertains to Europe, is expanding globally. When you go into a new market, you don't want to just spend money on online advertising. You want to think about it intelligently, strategize, and only then do what's right. Now, that also comes to this field. How do you find new opportunities or new fields? How do you ensure that you know what's going on and you're keeping pace with your competitors? It's becoming extremely difficult. And that relates to the next point. So how do you spend your next euro? You have multiple marketing channels. I mean, I'm only talking about online at this point of time. You have SEO, you have SEA, you have display, you have social. Where is the most effective use of your next euro? Now, answering all of those questions is extremely difficult. And that's why you need something to help you come to the right answers. And finally, it's staying on top of the competitors. What else can we see? Before I go into this one, is everyone here familiar with what's been going on in the SEO world in terms of Google blocking pretty much everything? Yeah, I see everyone nodding. Okay, so I'm going to say something earth-shattering. The way we get our information, we sit on the browsers, meaning we are not blocked by Google. Let me repeat that. We are not blocked by Google.